episode of Note to Life podcast. And today I'm gonna touch um, this topic, maintaining your individuality in a relationship. Now, this is a big one. Everything about relationship I feel is a big thing, but this is a big one because when we get into a relationship, a new relationship, we tend to forget that before we get into a relationship, before we entered a relationship, we were our own person. So that should be consistent. Everything that you do in life, whether it be your job, whether it be, finding yourself, going through a journey within yourself, um, um, maintaining relationships, it should be consistent, right? If anything, um, you want to evolve as a person, but everything that you do should be consistent, and everything you say should be consistent. So a lot of us, when we enter a very new relationship, it's very exciting. You want to spend um, every waking moment with that person. You're so attached with that person. You want to do anything and everything, with that person. You forget about everyone else, including yourself, because your life and your time, your thoughts, your feelings, everything about you for the first few months is so consumed in that relationship and with this person. I can understand that you want to vibe with that person, you want to get to know that person, get to know their likes and dislikes, but don't ever put yourself on the back burner. That's the that's the number one thing that could ruin you as a person and also being in a relationship. Always put yourself first. Be Sometimes you gotta be a little bit selfish, but not to a point where it's all about you, because at the end of the day, it's not all about you, but you gotta put yourself first before anybody. Take care of yourself first before anybody. um, make sure that you're happy, make sure that your well-being is taken care of, and there's nobody in the world that could take care of you um, to the highest level but yourself. So let's get into it. Taking some me time each day for about 10 minutes. Now, I feel like my personal thing about this is that um, 10 minutes, I feel like it's a good minimum time to just get yourself together, remove yourself from any situation, from any environment, and just get yourself together, gather your thoughts, gather your feelings, do some journaling, meditate, whatever you like to do within that 10 minutes. Do it each and every single day. And I know that it's harder when you're a single parent, because um, your life is consumed, like your life is so consumed with taking care of your kids and making sure that your kids are safe and healthy and they're fed and dressed and all that stuff. But I would suggest as a single parent that take some take some time, 10 minutes before the kids wake up and 10 minutes after the kids go to sleep, but always get yourself to sleep. Get yourself to bed and get some rest. It's good for you. Sleeping is good for you. Don't stay up all night like me, watching documentaries and watching the freaking news and be obsessed with it, and then you go to bed mad and then you wake up all mad and all that stuff. No. Um but ch- in all honesty, take some time for yourself each and every single day. 10 minutes. If it's not 10 minutes, 5 minutes. I just personally feel it's really whatever works for you, and whatever works for your life and for your schedule and everything. I just think that 10 minutes is a minimum, but if you can't do 10 minutes, 5 minutes, whatever. Just gather your thoughts, take some me time, and do something you love. um because we get so dependent, you know um on our partner, and it's not good for him, it's not healthy for him, it's not healthy for you. um you really gotta like when you do that, you tend to get all clingy and stuff like that, and sometimes your partner wants to take some time to himself as well. So you got to be considerate. Don't get too dependent on your partner. Don't, because then you get clingy, and then it's like your partner becomes your entertainment, and it's just not good for the both of you. And sometimes, like, sometimes we don't feel confident in ourselves, that we, when our time is so consumed, when our whole well-being, our whole person is so consumed to one soul, like, I mean, we tend to feel, sometimes we tend to feel confident, we tend to not feel confident in ourselves, and we tend to dismiss our thoughts and our feelings, and we end up being passive towards our partners, that we become so unhappy and resentful towards our partners, and sorry, not partners but partner, and we end up disappointing ourselves, and we end up hurting ourselves by doing this, and like, it's something that you have to work on each and every single day while you're in a relationship. It's a, and before you get into a relationship, it's a conscious decision that you should be, or try to commit to, a conscious decision that you should be willing to commit to, that you should be willing to do for yourself. Make a conscious decision before you enter into any relationship, that you will maintain your individuality, because we do, when we get so caught up, and when we get so dependent on a person, we disappoint ourselves and we hurt ourselves, because like we tend to cater to that person more so than catering ourselves. So try not to disappoint yourself, and try not to hurt yourself. Always cater to yourself first before anyone else. And you gotta give yourself enough time to just breathe, and give yourself enough time to relax, and analyze your life, analyze your relationship, analyze you know everything, your wants, your needs, your desires. Analyze what you like, what you dislike, analyze all those things. um and it's good to have um, great time management. Now, time management is not just used at work. You have to be able to manage your time between me time, your friends, your families, and whatever else you associate yourself with. You gotta learn to manage your time, and managing your time may not be equal with your friends, your families, your partner, your me time, but try to manage your time between spending time with your family, spending time with your friends, spending time with coworkers, spending time with your partner, and spending time for yourself. Time management is very, very important. You got to make an effort to manage your time. You got to be willing to manage your time, and you got to be consistent with managing your time, but always, when you manage your time, always think about you. Okay. um and also, encourage and be supportive of each other's individual being, and encourage each other to um pursue a career, or education, or time with each other, or encourage each other's alone time, and keeping in touch and meeting with friends and families, and pursuing an interest, or a hobby. So it's very important to encourage and be supportive of each other, whatever your likes and dislikes are, and whatever your interests and your hobbies are, it's good to have that partner who encourages you and supports you doing, your hobbies, and supports you in pursuing whatever career you want to pursue, whether and also whether you want to, you know um, own a business or whatnot, whether you want to go back to school, um, and supporting each other and encouraging each other to, you know to understand that the both of you need some alone time, and keeping in touch with families and with friends, maintaining that relationship with your families and friends outside of your relationship, between each other. And make communication a priority. Make it a priority. You don't know what your partner, you don't know what's going on in your partner's lives all the time. um, Sometimes you get into a relationship with a person that's not open with their feelings, that's not open with, um, sharing their feelings to you, and you got to be considerate of that. uh, you got to encourage that, sharing their feelings is going to make them feel good, and having an open communication is always, the right thing to do, because, like, for example, I always communicate with, if, like, my husband and I have a toddler, and she's very, 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 very excited all the time. You know, she's jumping up and down, and doing this and doing that, and very active, and sometimes it gets overwhelming. So what I do is, my husband and I, we usually have an open communication. So when I'm overwhelmed, I gotta let him know right then and there, and he encourages me and supports me by understanding and by listening, you know listening to what I'm saying, and be present, in the moment when I'm talking to him, when I'm being open to him. So I communicate with him that, hey, I feel overwhelmed, and he'll, most of the time, I don't need to ask him, that I need time for myself. He actually offers it. So, a communication between us is usually very open, and it's usually very honest. So it's good to have, you know especially, like, I'm a stay-at-home mom at the moment, not for long, I hope, but I'm a stay-at-home mom for the moment. And it gets overwhelming, being a stay-at-home mom. You're doing everything, you keep yourself active, and sometimes you need that moment. And throughout the day, something might happen, and you get really overwhelmed, you get really sensitive and very emotional, and you want that supportive partner to understand where you're coming from when you're communicating with him, or when you're communicating with her. You want a partner who supports you, and who encourages you, and doesn't judge you when you're, just feeling overwhelmed with everything. So make communication a priority, because, when you communicate that, you know you need some time to yourself, like, it's always good. It's like, don't leave your partner in the dark. Communicate when you need some time for yourself. And that's about it. I'm gonna be talking about this, topic, you know um, multiple times, because I think this is a topic that is very, very, very important. So, but right now, I'm just gonna leave it as that. And, um, seriously, thank you guys for tuning in. And until next time, this is Note to Life with Leanne. I'll see you guys later. Okay, bye bye.